Hi, my name's Ryan Clark from Team Solitaire MB1 Racing, and we're here at the 2007 US Open of Supercross. Going to take a look at tonight's layout and get a feel for what the riders have to experience in probably one of the most action-packed, adrenaline-filled races of the year. This is perhaps the most important part of the race, especially being a tight track like this. The start line, we've got 12 gates going down a long straightaway into a left-hand bull corner. There's going to be some carnage, definitely, some pileups, but whoever gets through that thing clean is going to have a huge advantage on the rest of the night. As we emerge from the start, come around this first left-hand bull corner, comes right into a real tricky rhythm section. This is probably going to be one of the most crucial parts of the track as far as making up time on other riders. You have a bunch of different options here. Looks like probably nobody's going to be able to triple in, but there's definitely going to be some triples after that. So you kind of have an option to go 2-3-3 or 2-2-3. I think the difference in this section could make up the difference in the lap times and getting into the Super Pole, or just being another also ran here. And always a tricky section. You don't want to come up short. Upon leaving the rhythm section, you make a quick left-hand 90-degree turn. You got to jump on, jump off here. I think this is going to be kind of a follow the leader section. I don't think you're going to see too much passing through here, but probably pretty prone for mistakes. The dirt right now is real wet, real moist, but it's going to be dry and slick. You lose some traction. Could be an area where a rider could bobble, lose the lead, but I think it's going to be mainly follow the leader. When the riders land off this obstacle, you'll make a tight right-hand corner and leave the stadium. You definitely don't want to get out of control on this section here. You could end up in the wall, a water fountain, a Rockstar banner, all kinds of things that you normally don't see on a Supercross track, but tight confines of the US Open, you never know where you could end up. If you've ever wondered what it's like to ride down the hallway of a high school, this is probably a pretty good idea of what it's like. You got a real narrow section in here. You've got some tall banners and a wall around the outside. Make a right-hand 90 into a pretty technical section of Supercross whoops. I think this section is going to form pretty one-lined as well. Closest distance between two lines is between 2 points is a straight line, so you're going to want to go inside to inside if you can and protect yourself from getting stuffed into one of those walls. But this is a narrow section. I think it's going to be, maybe some crashes in these whoops. You kind of never know. It's too tight to really tell. Here we're exiting the stadium through the loading docks, straight out over a little step up, a big bowl corner, and then right back in. This section could be a variable in tonight's race. Doesn't happen often, but when it rains in the desert, it rains hard. Could get a little mud going through here. Also, pretty much the only place on the track that you can't see on the big screen, so you never know who might come out with the lead. You go in with the comfortable lead, make a bobble in these tricky whoops, and come out, dead last. So there are two parts of the Supercross track where you win or lose the race. One of them's the start, the other one's the whoops. The thing that makes the US Open whoops different from a regular set of stadium whoops is that the approach speed is probably double what we're used to coming in. Big speeds, big crashes, big passes, go for the glory, kind of lean back and pin it attitude a lot of riders have through these things. This is going to make the difference tonight. This is where you're going to see who's been doing their homework, who's got their bike set up, and who's ready to win this US Open race. AMA's been trying to put close racing back into Supercross and stop the runaways of Ricky Carmichael, James Stewart, and Chad Reed. Here's one of the obstacles that they're using to do it. Just a flat sweeper corner. Even though this thing, by Supercross standards isn't the most technical part of the track, a lot of mistakes being made here, a lot of passing going on. One of the wider parts of the track, set people up in the whoops, take an inside line, take their line away, and move yourself up in position. Out of the super slippery sweeper turn, come right into another pretty technical rhythm section. I think this is going to be one of those obstacles on the track that you just have to do. You got to go triple-double here. If you don't do it, probably going to lose quite a bit of time, but it is an intimidating jump, and probably going to see some guys going down on this and maybe some guys checking up and just going double, single, but those aren't going to be the guys in the main event tonight. After riding through basically a big BMX berm, come up on one of the larger finish lines we've had at the US Open in past years, charging hard on this, trying to keep it low, trying to set yourself up for this next left-hand bull turn, another pretty tall corner as far as by Supercross standards lately. Right into a rhythm section that's going to be a double-double for pretty much everyone. I don't think there's going to be too many options in this. And a real tight, that's got to be, what, 170-degree right-hand corner. It almost overlaps back on itself. You're going to have to square it up tight, get yourself positioned going into the next corner, all the while trying to get some communication from your mechanic in the mechanics area there. That's going to be the only time the rider has any outside communication from anybody throughout the 15 or 20 laps that they're out there pounding. We've taken a look at tonight's racetrack. One big variable for tomorrow, everything's going to be changed. We're going to go a different start. We're going to be going a different direction. So you might have the track dialed tonight, have all these lines figured out, throw a wrench in your plans for tomorrow, do it all over again, have to relearn all the obstacles. And I think being 2 nights consistent on a track this tight, this technical, it's going to be a big feat for everyone.